Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. It is the eve of the release of Monster Hunter Rise. It is the 25th of March currently, and in exactly 24 hours from now, I will have the physical copy of Rise in my hands. So, that's a good thing to note. As it usually is you've got midnight releases in the US, but that ends up being like early afternoon for me, so I usually get my copy of whatever game releases in physical form about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours before the US does, so I'll have to do a bit of downloading before, I would assume, before playing the game, although I'm not entirely sure. Maybe all of the game's content will be on the cartridge, I actually don't know. Preloading is of course necessary with digital copies, generally, but I'm not sure about this cartridge. Maybe all I will need will be on the cartridge and I'll just stick it in the Switch and play immediately. If that's the case, then, you know, about 30 minutes from now, but tomorrow, I should be beginning the recording for Rise, which will be good. Again, I will not actually be going through too much of the game. I'll be just offering my first impressions, hopefully remaining positive. I think I should be able to. It'll be more enjoyable than anything else, because as I've said in the past, even though I don't have too many positive things to say about Rise at the moment, I'm sure the process of just going through the game and feeling it all out will be enjoyable, because it's sort of an adventure, you know. I'm having to change the game title on YouTube as usual. Hold on. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. There we go, because otherwise it will just for some reason assume that I'm playing World, even though it literally says in the title 3 Ultimate. I don't know how much more it needs than that, but that's YouTube for you. Barely works. Barely working tube. Which is what you would call a fairly uncreative joke name. But yeah, just getting my YouTube chat up now. It's just an extra step at the beginning of the live stream that I have to undertake, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, we should be all under control now. Yeah, outside of that, I think we're good to go. So, I haven't actually checked to see who's online at the moment, but I'm not going to check just yet, because I like to take a little bit of time to go through what I currently have. I have officially designated this armor set to be the new Elemental Light Bowgun set. For some reason I had 2 Elemental Light Bowgun sets. This one that I have here was specific to Dragon Shot. I don't know why. It's my understanding that I made it with the intention of getting as much damage out of Dragon Shot as I possibly could. You know, element attack up bonus shot because it was going to be rapid fire, and then peak performance and attack up medium. You know, it's basically damage based. But there was no real reason for my other light bowgun set for element to be any different to this. It was basically the standard Elatrion armor set, but with whatever extra skill I'd put on it. I can't remember what it was. It was probably I can't even think what it was, but all I can say, it was probably also attack up medium. I think I got attack up medium on that. But the point is that there was no real reason to have that over this, so I decided to make it a little simpler and just use this as my only Elemental Light Bowgun set, as opposed to just being a specific dragon set, because it would work as a specific dragon set if it actually had dragon attack up. Obviously you're not going to use a set with dragon attack up with a Thunder Light Bowgun, but in the case of this set it is just perfectly usable with all elements, so I'm going to do that from now on. I have replaced the previous Elatrion Light Bowgun set with a set that I talked about, if not in the previous recording, then certainly in the one prior to that. It was a heavy element set to use the shield. Hey Caesar and Spaceman, good to see you. Yeah, I talked about it before. I first made a set of that kind in Portable Third, because of course Portable Third was the first game to introduce Siege Mode, or Crouch Fire, as it has now been named. And it basically makes use of that, and it's elemental. So this is the set. I just made it yesterday, I think. Might have been the day before, but I think it was yesterday when I made it. It's attack up medium, bombardier, element attack up, and quick sheath. Now, Bombardier is just an extra skill to put in there. I think Bombardier is usually pretty easy to gem up. I think it's maybe 1 slot. It's like 2 points per slot, something like that. There are certain skills that are that way. The common one, I suppose, would be wide range. But Bombardier is another one of those skills, I believe. Maybe I should check that. I'm starting to think that it was 2 slots for 3 points. So maybe I'm talking out of my ass. No, I'm not talking out of my ass. It is 2 points for 1 slot. So, yeah. Wasn't too difficult to get. And, you know, Bombardier is pretty useful. Not so much the combination rate for bombs, but particularly the increased bomb damage. So, you can always get a lot of use out of that, so I'd say it's a pretty good extra skill. Outside of that, it's just, you know, pretty standard elemental set, I suppose. But I am using the Elatrion heavy bowgun with a shield. You can possibly tell that it has a shield because the wings on either side of it are much larger. Well, not even much larger, just a tad bit larger than the usual wings that appear on the heavy bowgun. The wings themselves act as the shield. You don't have something attached to the barrel per se that would visually appear as a shield. They make it a little more stylistic than that. Hey, Vernon. So, yeah, the situation there is that I have a new set to use, and I've been using it recently, but I'll try to use it on camera as well. I think that's the only set I have. Oh, I reordered all of my sets. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, because I pretty much just made my armor sets in a very disorganized fashion in this game. I just, you know, went through all the open slots each time I wanted to make an armor set, and didn't put them in a specific order. Eventually, and by eventually I mean probably yesterday or the day before, still can't get my days sorted out in my head, but I actually sorted this all out. You can see I've started with general use weapon sets, stuff that is not weapon specific at all. I suppose status can to an extent be weapon specific, but that's, you know, a specific type of I can't say a specific type of element because it's status. Okay, it's specifically status weapons, so I guess it's a little more specific than these ones. Again, this will become my Awakened Lance / Gun Lance set once I make that, which is, again, going to be a bit of a long-term project here. But it's not going to be as long-term as I first thought, I don't think, and I'll explain why a little bit later. But, yeah, general use, and then we begin with Greatsword. My 3 Greatsword sets on the same page. Then it goes Hammer, Awakened Hammer, Horn, Lance, Gun Lance, and then I wanted these 2 on the same page. This is not something I'm going to be using often at all, but it's there. And then I wanted to also make sure that I had all of this on the same page, and then these 2 together. So this is pretty much the way I've ordered it now, and it's probably not too interesting to take you through that, but the point is that this was many, many years in the making. I don't know why I didn't just put my foot down and decide that it had to be organized, but I let it go on for a long time in a very disorganized fashion. Now it's looking a little better. So, what... no, I was going to say... what else was there for me to show, but I think that's it. I haven't made any weapons, I don't think. It was just this armor set, and that will conclude the showcasing anyway. As far as the boats, when I said that I would elaborate on the whole thing with that Gun Lance / Lance, or Lance / Gun Lance Awaken armor set, of course I'm totally reliant on this stupid boat system, where I occasionally get these boats leveling up to level 4, at which point I can send them out to the Pirate's Tomb with a treasure tracker. I do not know the percentage chance for acquiring long fragments with the treasure tracker. I believe without the treasure tracker it's 2%, something like that. So, or is it 5%? Maybe it's 5%. Yeah, I think it's 5%. So maybe, you know, conservative estimate, maybe increases it by 5% chance if I use a treasure tracker. So, I can hope that, anyway. I've worked out, by doing a little bit of research online, that my theory that I had to send the boats out in order to cycle through the possible boat level is actually not helpful at all. In fact, that's a terrible idea, because you have a chance to actually have these boats level up without sending them out, which means that if you're waiting for them to return, you're losing opportunities to actually acquire level 4, or 4-star, depending on how you would say that. So that's the way this works. What you want to do is not send them out until such time 4 stars appear, and then you can send them to the Pirate's Tomb with the treasure tracker. And I was actually trying to grind them before. I was doing some harvest tours, and, you know, I'm telling you, it takes a long frickin' time in this game, because harvest tours, while they do count as quests being complete for things like the boats, you do have to wait, I believe, 2 minutes for the Poor Pass ticket to be delivered, so it's kind of not great. But, yeah, fortunately, you don't actually have to send them out, which does make things easier. So what this means is that I just have to get in the habit, while I am hunting here, of always checking the boats to see if I can send them out with treasure trackers. That's very important for me to do. So, provided you are keeping on task with that, you should be alright. Here's Takeshi. It's strange how he's not hunting with this guy anymore. Maybe they had a falling out, who knows, but they were all talking together in their common language when I was playing with them before, so I assumed that they had struck up a friendship. Perhaps not. I don't know. I mean, maybe LMP isn't a cheater. I didn't see LMP cheating. I saw Geordie and Takeshi cheating. But LMP I did not specifically see, you know, throw status knives or do weird shit like that, so maybe he's not a cheater. And that would stand to reason, seeing as though he's actually doing 4-point formation at this point in the game's lifespan. But yeah, Vernon, I'd recommend joining that G-Turns room. Should have space in here. Post, says Takeshi. Okay. If you say so. Let's do Abyssal. The reason why I want to do Abyssal is I actually did a lot of Abyssal, I think, yesterday. And I keep saying I think because apparently I just have no ability to keep track of time. It won't let you enter. What do you mean? You're getting disconnects? Like an error message? Because sometimes if you can't connect to the fight normal or glitch, do you have a gun? Because I wouldn't recommend bowing. I mean, my Abyssal Laggy tutorial from 2014 would suggest that using bow is fine. I guess pierce bow is fine. I think I did make it clear in that recording that pierce bow is fine, but anything else would be a bad idea. It says couldn't enter the room. It just says could not enter the room. Maybe he's blocked you. Is there a system in this game where you can block people? Well, hold on. Let me see if I could... You're able to enter another room? Well, hold on. I'm just going to see if there's like a blocking feature that exists. Add to blocked user list. So, there is actually an option to block people. So, if it just says, could not enter the room, I'm guessing Takeshi has blocked you. I don't know why he would have done that. Ah. I kicked him out of a room for cheating, and not in a nice way. Well, there you go. Gonna say sorry, going to play with a friend. Gonna play with a guy who kicked you for cheating. No, that's fine. I mean, I'm happy to play with these people if there is no one else to play with, provided they don't do anything crazy with their cheating garbage. But I certainly don't have any sympathy for that guy. Did you join the G-Turns room here? You're with LMP. Oh, okay. Okay. He may very well be cheating as well, but well, I haven't seen it yet, I don't think. Someone said someone's got a room called Rise Hype. I hate that word. I really do hate that word. Anyway. Let's see what's happening. Soraya. I've played with Soraya in the past, not in a long time, but I do recognize that name. Soraya is hunter rank 498. They're probably going to have a good old conversation in Spanish, are they? Most likely. They're very talkative. But, or at least from what I've been able to tell. Hi, LMP. I think LMP probably doesn't hate me anymore. I don't think he ever did, but I think he did kick me once or twice. But either way, we have, I suppose, re-established some kind of neutrality for the reason that we did do a bit of hunting in a group before. So, pretty sure that's Spanish. Yeah, what do you need, Vernon? I don't mind. Whatever you need, we will get it, if these guys are happy to do whatever. And I'm not really hell-bent on using this particular set, by the way. I just have it equipped because I was showing it off before. But, yeah, I'm happy to do whatever. My hair was doing a weird thing. Oh, LMP's posted. We're not gonna stay in this room, Vernon. This guy, come and check the board so that he can see. Why does he keep posting 4-point formation when he knows I'm not going to do it? I have no reason to do that quest. I mean, you know he's been doing it at every opportunity, because he's gone up like 30 to 40 hunter ranks in the last week or something like that, which is significant in this game. So you know he's been doing 4-point formation. But, yeah. Well, fucking hell. I don't know why Twitch just doesn't work for you. It's bizarre. But anyway, he's doing 4-point formation, so I'm not gonna bother. I don't have time for that shit. And to be honest, I'm not gonna play with that fucking guy if he keeps doing that. Wrath Mantle? So Vern, I don't know how much of that you heard because apparently Twitch was glitching, but that guy's doing 4-point formation and I'm not doing that. It's stupid. It's pure HRP grinding and nothing else. There's no other reason that a person would do that quest. And he keeps posting it. It's all he seems to want to do. And he knows that I won't do it. We could join Amster. The room you selected does not exist. Well, you fucked up, didn't you, mate? Should have just kept it there. Oh, he's Devil again. Do you want to join Devil? Let's see if he's here. Last time I joined him, he was just AFK, so we'll see what he's doing. I don't know why he just sits in a fucking passworded room. It's weird. He clearly doesn't want people to not join. Because he makes it pretty obvious with his password. But last time I came, he just was sitting there, AFK. So it really does beg the question as to whether or not he even wants to hunt anything. I really don't know. This guy is... Well, he's hunter rank 999. He probably doesn't have too much better to do with his time if he's just sitting on here going AFK at this hunter rank. But I'll give him like 2 minutes. 2 minutes should be fair. I'd rather not sit around waiting for him. But you know, he might just be willing to do whatever. He said looking for experts, so he might kick you. But, you know, maybe he's gotten used to you now. Who knows? It's not looking very, very hopeful, is it? Yeah, that's true. You know what? I don't think he'd appreciate us two-manning a quest in his room. Which I'm going to do anyway, I don't really care about what he wants, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't like that, which begs the question, why would he be going AFK for an extended period of time? You know, that's the sort of ego that these people have. They think that everyone should just sit here and wait for them forever. Because it just doesn't matter to them. Anyway. That's what I imagine. Maybe the guy's perfectly fine and he just kicked you before because you're a low hunter rank, but there's also a good chance that he's a total idiot. I really don't know. But there aren't many people at a high hunter rank that I appreciate. Sheena, yesterday, I was playing with Vernon yesterday, we were playing with a person named Sheena. Nice person. Very relaxed, not a nasty piece of work or anything like that. Played with you a couple of days ago. Oh, you mean Devil? Or Sheena. Oh, Sheena, yeah. So Devil played with you before, so that's probably because he joined on you. It seems that if he makes a room of his own, he specifically says experts only. At which point, you do not fit in, because you're a low hunter rank, which is actually irrelevant, but he can only go based on your hunter rank, he doesn't know you. But yeah. Let's get moving. He joined on you because he actually wanted to hunt instead of sitting AFK in a fucking room. And he realized that no one was going to join on him. So, I don't really get it. I don't know why he just sits AFK in a passworded room all day. It seems to be all he does. And it's usually empty, I'm pretty sure. Every time I've seen his fucking room, it's empty. So here we are. Actually occupying his room. Hunted a bit of Giganox yesterday. It's good to hunt him again anyway. I do enjoy Giganox, he's a good hunt. I don't like looking at his asshole expand though, I can live without that. That's not the sort of thing I need in my life. Oh, this isn't good. Yeah. Knew I was going to get hit by that. Again, I do need to get in the habit of Wyvern firing at the beginning of a quest in 3rd generation. It's something that has been beaten out of me in Generations Ultimate, just because of how Wyvern fire worked. Because you actually wanted to charge it up first, prior to actually shooting it, so that it could be more worthwhile, but that doesn't exist in this game, so the best thing to do is actually shoot it as soon as possible so that you can use the quest time to recharge it. And that used to be a habit, to always shoot it as soon as possible, but again, when you hunt mostly habitually, in other words, by way of subconscious, you know, I guess, subconscious instinct, that's the word I'm looking for, or the phrase I'm looking for. When you hunt purely habitually and through subconscious instinct, if you've beaten something like that out of yourself through playing a different game, unfortunately you come back to this game and you're still hunting pretty subconsciously, but unfortunately you are out of the habit of doing what you used to do without thinking. So it's a little unfortunate, but yeah. Is he already... Yeah, he's already limping. Poor guy. I feel bad for him. Makes sense though, he's got reduced health as a double monster. And he's also in high ranks, so... Yeah, I'm not sure where he's gonna go. He's gonna fly out, I guess that means he's going over here. That would be my guess. Yeah, the game does look very different on a television compared to a gamepad. In the case of... It's very interesting, the game looks better on a television compared to the gamepad view on Wii U, and then Generations Ultimate actually looks better on the Switch screen than on the television. It's very strange. I don't know how Generations Ultimate just looks so bad. It looks worse than this game. Like, it's actually I'm not sure what it is, it's almost muddy or something. Maybe not muddy, it's just grainy and... It looks lower resolution, to be honest. Which is kind of a sad thing considering this was just a port. But I guess maybe Generations Ultimate was also a port, wasn't it? Anyway, it just looks better on the Switch screen, but that is not the case for this game. This actually looks better on a television. I suppose because it was intended for people to play it on a television. You know, I guess it depends on what they're focusing on, design-wise. I don't know. I was considering doing a shorter recording here and then doing some Breath of the Wild later. We'll see what happens. It wasn't going to be super short, maybe 2 or 3 hours, but yeah, I would then do like an hour and a half or something of Breath of the Wild after that. That's what I was thinking, but again, we'll see how we go. I don't even know where Giganox is, the next one. Just gonna head to where I would imagine him to be. Head to where I pray he is, because there we go. Alrighty. Yeah, shut up. Of course, those ice crystals can actually drop on you and break your flinch. Which is a good thing. And they barely do any damage, so you don't have to worry about them hurting. I think I might actually have my Wyvern Fire charged up again, so let's try to do that. This is a good opportunity. Just angling it down that way to make sure I can get the blast on him. There we go. I've got a Giggy here trying to join in on the fun, which I do not appreciate. Interestingly, the last high rank Giganox I fought was in Tri. Funny thought. Not as in when I was playing Tri, but I mean like when I actually recorded Tri somewhat recently. A few days ago. Getting a bit of natural light today. The period of rain has mostly passed. I think it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, but it did rain for like 5 days straight here in the eastern part of Australia. So, yeah, you'll actually see a bit of natural light again from me. Hopefully consistent natural light that I can control for my recordings, but we'll see what happens. My stamina's looking a bit sad, but oh well. Nothing unusual there. I really should just bring some stamina recovery items. I just haven't been doing that. I think I use energy drinks in this game. Quite sure I do. But I just haven't been bringing them. I guess it's a laziness factor. It's the fact that I don't really need more stamina, so I just settle for what I have. But what ends up happening is, if something strange happens, like the quest goes for longer than you anticipated, or something like that, you just don't have anything to recover your stamina. It's more of a contingency than something that you really need at all times. But the thing is, you want to actually have that there when you do need it. But, yeah. Guess I'm just too lazy to bring them. There we go. I don't know if Devil is back. My guess would be no. If you have anything else that we can easily two-man Vernon, we'll just keep doing it in this room, to be honest, but if the only other stuff you need is high rank, or excuse me, G rank, then we'll go and find a different room for this one, because I don't think he's going to come back. He might, I could be wrong, but I almost feel like he just logs in for the sake of it, like he wants to get up his playtime for some reason. Which, if you think about it, these people would have really ridiculously high playtimes, but probably half of the time they've spent in the game has just been AFK. They've just been sitting there in a room doing nothing, which is a funny thought. I will admit that probably like 400 to 500 hours of my playtime in Tri, so like 500 out of 2,300, would have just been me chatting to people. But at least I wasn't fucking AFK. You didn't carve any hide? Well, that's a bit of a problem. Hide plus is what you need, isn't that? That's a lot of rewards for a non-capture. That was a slay. And, well, that was a slaying, I suppose you would say. And, I got a lot of rewards there. That has to be some of the most reward. Oh, that's a double quest, that's right. Totally forgot it was a double quest. That makes more sense. You didn't get any uncanny hide. Always gotta have some well done steaks. Yeah, I generally don't bother. What do I have? Energy drinks? I think so. No? Mega Dash Juice? I've got 33 of those. I guess I used those for my bow, most likely. But yeah, looks like I don't use energy drinks in this game. What game do I use energy drinks in? It's either Portable Third or Try. And I haven't played Try in so long, so it does make me wonder. Has he moved? No, he hasn't moved. Oh my god. This fucking guy. If I do end up getting a bit too much natural light, I'll have to do the usual. I got 4 Giganox hide plus, just from carving. You spent 300 hours just chatting in Try? Yeah. That was the big thing about Try, it was the community. That's why I don't really say that Try is my favourite Monster Hunter game on an objective level, because while it is the one that I got the most enjoyment out of, it was the community that resulted in that enjoyment, not the way the game was designed. It was a fairly good game, but, you know, typical poor Capcom balancing. I mean, whoever's idea it was to bring purple sharpness into a G-rank game, purple sharpness into a high-rank game, obviously needs a reality check, and probably has already received that reality check by way of what people were doing in the end game of Try. Obviously doing nothing but using dragon weapons against everything. You know, Devil Joe and Elatrion weapons. Oh, you didn't have a keyboard in Try? There was almost no point even typing, because that was a terrible thing to do. Using the on-screen keyboard in Try was just... well, it wasn't even an option. It kind of was if you know, you could say okay and yes and no and things like that, but you wouldn't type sentences to people. That would be a sad time. Yeah, so Potato mentioned this to me in my Discord a day or two ago. But there's going to be a Demon Souls movie. Not really impressed by that. But maybe it'll be good. I mean, I can't assume that it will be terrible, but let me tell you, if it ends up being average, or even bad, it's going to be really average and really bad. Because it's one of those things you can so easily turn into this cheesy, poorly done mess of a movie. It wouldn't be difficult to do at all. Whereas making a good movie out of it, you could do it. The storytelling potential is there, but unfortunately, people don't do that. It's more of a cash-in. If you've got a cash-in, it's inevitable that the story is going to be uninspired. You know, some people just don't seem to realize that. If it's a cash-in, it's going to be lacking. Because you've done something very... okay, it's like, we need to make a bunch of money on this movie. Let's get this guy to write the story. That whole thing is not conducive to an inspired, creative result. That's just, let's make this thing that people will probably like, so we can make money on it. That's not what movies are made of. That's not how movies are born. At least not good ones. Good ones are born of passion. Not just movies, but stories, anything. Anything that's written, whether it's ultimately told on screen or not, is born of inspiration and passion, not let's make some money and get this guy to write a story to make us some money. You know? It will always satisfy some people because a cash-in's a cash-in. They're doing it because they know people will watch it anyway. That's why I hate the fact that people went and watched the Monster Hunter movie. They gave them money, even though it was average and not worth paying to see. But that's the nature of a cash-in. It doesn't actually have to be well written. they'll still make some money off it. Fortunately, they didn't make a profit in the Monster Hunter movie, but they did make some... They didn't make money, they technically made money, but not as profit. So I would have liked it if no one went and saw that fucking movie. Let's go, Lance. Sorry for taking so long to get ready there. I'll use the Maelstrom, I guess. I usually use the Silver Rathalos lance, but I'll do something a little different this time. I can't wait for the Monster Hunter Diary Poka Poka Aero Village movie. Yeah, neither can I. Hey, Ron. But, yeah, let me go and eat quickly, and we'll get ready to go. Because I have kept Vernon waiting. Oh, dear. Let's go and head off. Has he moved at all? No, he's well and truly AFK, this guy. Wand of Gamelon movie. Ugh. It's fun, Wand of Gamelon, just as a word. Yeah, I hate this. If you spawn in front of him, he just walks straight into you. You don't even have time to move. Just, you know, he's straight on you. I've had the exact same thing with Bullfango in this very same area. This is not a good area to spawn in. Area 4 of the Tundra. You'll just get immediately attacked by something. If it's not a large monster, it'll be a Bullfango. I've had that on camera a few times, where I just spawn in here and it's like it was already gearing up for an attack in anticipation, expecting you to spawn there. It's terrible. Fuck off. Problem with Gigi is that you can't really get them off you unless you sheath your weapon when you're using gun lance and lance. It's very annoying. Come on. Yeah, prepare thy anus indeed. Well, I've been watching his anus expand for the last 10 minutes. Not really, I just mean like maybe 10 minutes ago I watched it. And I don't really want to watch it again, to be completely honest. But sometimes you can't help but watch it. Well, thankfully I didn't need to miss out on my counter there. How is his face not broken? This is high rank, thank you. Well, I didn't intend to attack 3 times. That was not my intention. God, I miss counter on 3 hits. Makes me sad. Oh dear. Hello, Professor Hoovian. I haven't seen you in, like, what, 4 or 5 months, something like that? Anyway, welcome back, I guess. It's always strange when someone hasn't been in my stream for like 5 months and then starts typing like nothing's changed. Like they've been here the whole time. I mean, maybe he has. Maybe he's just been lurking. I mean, people do that. And they wonder why I... They wonder why I wonder that they haven't talked in months, and they're like, oh, I've been here the whole time. I'm thinking, hello. Capture? Probably a good idea. Yeah, let's do that, because you'll probably get better rewards. Let's try to approach this sensibly, though. I'd like to get him to limp out of this area if we could. I'm gonna hit him just a little bit. I mean, then again, I could just risk it for the biscuit. Let's... Oh, fuck off with your turnaround. No! Alright, I'm just gonna do it. This is so dangerous. I'm gonna get hit, you watch. No. Okay. This should work. This should work. Now get up and throw the damn thing. This is exactly how I was expecting it to go. That's good. And that's a capture. It should be. He falls on his back like that. That's a pretty funny capture maneuver that he does. He twirls on the spot and then flops down on his back. It's pretty extreme. It's a bit dramatic. He should have been in the theatre. Although I don't think the theatre would appreciate that. That's what they would call overacting. So I guess that wouldn't be a good thing. He shouldn't be in the theatre, I take that back. This is a big Giganox. This is probably a gold crown large. Look at the size of him. He's a beefcake. Look at him. He's huge. He has to be gold crown large. Just look at him. He's a titan. And that's correct, Potato. One more day. And if you guys are waiting for a midnight release, it'll end up being the case that I'll be sitting here playing it before you can. So you can watch me enjoy it. Alrighty. Because it'll be the morning of the 26th. Like, it'll be the afternoon of the 26th by the time you guys are playing it, so I will have had it for hours by that point. I'll be getting it at about 9 in the morning. So, by this time tomorrow, I should be recording Rise. You like Kezu more? Oh, come on, Spaceman. What's going on? Can you quantify that? Like, what about Kezu is superior to this monster? I'm interested. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just interested to see what about Kezu is more appealing. I don't really get it. Ugh. Alright, I think he should die momentarily. I'd like to break that face though. This has to be a gold crown large though. Look at him, he's a... Oh, you actually broke his head with that final hit. Nice work. Hello. Vernon's reminding me of that guy that I was playing with. I can't remember his name now, but I played with him for like an hour and a half, maybe even longer. And on 2 occasions, he just said hi. Just when it was totally inappropriate to say hi. But the thing is, he didn't make it look like it was a mistake. He actually just would say hi and then that's it. Just at really weird moments. You know, if it were a mistake, he would just do 2 shouts instead of 1. And it didn't look like it was a shout either. He was just like, hi, or hello. When there was no reason to say hello, because, you know, we'd either, you know, a new person hadn't joined and everyone he was hunting with, he had hunted with for several hunts, and it was like, what are you saying hello about? It was just weird. The guy was probably bizarre. Kezu has a cuter face. No. Giganox is too squishy and slimy, and Kezu is more physically solid. I guess that's a fair preference, I guess. At least you're explaining it. You know, as long as you explain it, I guess I can get on board with it, but still a bit weird. How'd you go with that one, Vernon? Yeah, that's fine, Hoovian. None again. How does that happen? Seriously. Oh my god. Well, that's a bit rough, isn't it? I should stop recording in the Doomlink's Random Hunt series, or excuse me, the Doomlink's Life Hunt series for this game, because you end up coming on every time, which is a good thing, but it just means that I should instead be doing hunting with purpose, because there's more grinding of the same quest under those circumstances. Look, this devil guy can actually fuck off. So, I mean, he's just going to stand there and AFK in a passworded room. Why? What is he achieving in doing this? It's weird. I'm going to check to see what else we've got on offer. Chungus. Captain Bacon. Oh look, it's your friend Potato. Let's do my Abyssal. Okay. But I'll only do it if we get a team to do it. Captain Chung, or rather Captain Bacon, I was going to say Captain Chungus. Well, I practically did say it. This guy's going from hunter rank 6 to 7. I literally just did, last night, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 fucking hunter rank 6 key quests, so I'm not helping this guy. I've done enough, because I was helping a guy yesterday with, like, so many quests. I didn't realize there were so many hunter rank 6 quests. It's kind of horrendous. I'm pretty sure he was doing only keys. Maybe he wasn't doing only key quests. Maybe he didn't know what the key quests were, but I'm pretty sure he knew. The ones that I knew to be key quests were being put on the board, so... I don't know. Hey, Jenny. But yeah, I'm not doing that. That's crap. Turns out that there really aren't many choices here. Like, really are not many choices. Let's make a room. It's time. HR8 plus is what we're going to call it. As opposed to HR8 underscore, that wouldn't be very communicative. Or at least not in the way that I'd want it to be. Relaxed hunting, there we go. You're playing Generations Ultimate? Well, nothing wrong with that. But I'm very much invested in this game at the moment. I bet every single room in Generations Ultimate right now is Rise Hype! Rise Woo! At least it's Rise Woo and not Rise Woot. At least people stopped typing that. Like 10 years ago. More. Fortunately. But, I can get the almighty Dahaka. That's not going to be my Paralysis Sword and Shield. Forgot what it is. I think it's the Nahabra Sword and Shield that I was going to have. I just can't get used to this. See how this Sword and Shield does not have the same coloration as the one in Tri? That bothers me, because I'm so used to the Tri version. Well, not just Tri, but also Portable Third. There's a screaming child outside, I think. Not that you would have been able to hear it, but there was this weird frequency. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I realize it's probably the sound of a child screaming. Which is enough to wake the dead, really. Yeah, horn hype, exactly. Hunting horn is so good. I found a guy yesterday who apparently has been maining hunting horn since this game came out. And he's actually kind of okay with... Well, this was a strange thing. It was sort of a mixed vibe. It was, he was okay with hunting horn in Rise, and he was excited for it, and he said, but I'm going to miss traditional hunting horn. I don't know. I suppose that's probably the best position you can possibly have. It's missing old hunting horn, but also being okay with the Rise change. And he said it's not about the songs, the moveset's crazy or whatever the hell. It's like, okay, well, whatever makes you happy, I guess. If, I'm just confused by how you could say it's not about the songs when you're a hunting horn main. That kind of confuses me. That's where you've lost me. Oh, they'll nerf it, Jenny. Well, they'll nerf it for G rank. I think my understanding of Rise is that whatever horrendous balancing they've given us this time is going to stay unchanged for the entirety of the high rank release, and then they're going to try, try to balance things a little better for the G rank release. But, of course, they will fix things from the high rank and then introduce new, totally imbalanced things into the G rank to totally make it pointless. Like, no matter what, you will get a mess in that regard, so it is what it is. Yeah, I did hear that there was a switch skill. He said that too. He said we'll have to see what happens with the switch skills. Again, as I've said in the past, that is quite reminiscent of styles in the fact that they allowed you to use guild style, which was effectively no style. They didn't force you to make the change. And if it ends up being pretty much like traditional hunting horn, then I guess my concerns are not necessarily unfounded, but my concerns are not going to translate into a real concern while playing the game. So, what do I think about the new monster mounting / controlling feature of Monster Hunter Rise? I don't really have much of an opinion on it. Look, I'm not really attached to the mounting system personally, so therefore I don't mind if they change it. I think it's a bit weird, but I don't dislike it. It doesn't seem to dominate combat too much. It seems to just stop shy of being too much of a dominating aspect to the combat. If it were one of those situations where, you know, you're always going to mount the monster and you do it over and over again, in that way, maybe I would have an issue with it, and maybe it will be a big part of the combat, but I don't think it is. I don't think you really have to do it. It's not like the Clutch Claw, in other words. I guess I'll post Abyssal. I'll post Abyssal, fuck it. I'll go and get my gun. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The YouTubers who are reviewing the game who got an early copy have all pretty much said the same thing. That the game feels unfinished. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's really bad. That's really bad. Because that's a new one. I've never run into a Monster Hunter game that felt unfinished. I've played Monster Hunter games that didn't have much content, but unfinished? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. We'll see. We'll see what my impression is. I'm not necessarily going to be looking out for that. But, wow. Unfinished. That's pretty scathing, isn't it? Because that's the thing with Monster Hunter. It's such a careful process of creation. I mean, they fuck it up anyway with their balancing, but Monster Hunter has always been something that was made with love and care. So if they were rushed to a deadline for one reason or another, and you can have all sorts of reasons as to why, like, you know, the whole COVID situation, I mean, that would probably be what they'd say. They'd say, well, the whole COVID situation meant that we had less time on our hands. It's like, well, that's a real shame. That's a real shame. And if it ends up being an unfinished sort of game, we'll see. I don't know. That's pretty bad, though. That doesn't get much worse than that. You don't. An unfinished Monster Hunter game being released, that's a new one. And we'll see. You know, if these YouTube reviewers are saying that there's something missing, that's a bad fucking start. It's a bad fucking start. Because if they're saying something's missing, imagine me. Oh god. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. But it's not looking too good. That's nasty. That is a bad first impression. It's not my impression, it's someone else's impression. Allegedly multiple people's impression, but that doesn't leave a good impression upon me. And we'll see. I'm interested to see what we have. That would probably mean the PC version will be the definitive version, and it was my belief that it was going to be the definitive version anyway. But don't you think that the game's going to be more finished and polished, given that they're getting another 12 months to work on it for the PC version? And the people on the Switch version, ooh, what if it was their intention to always have it be on PC, but they were sort of forced into releasing it on Switch? So they were just like, alright, give them whatever we can cobble together on the Switch, and then they'll get the real game on PC. Of course, pure speculation. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes there, but that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So Well, people should be used to playing base game Monster Hunter, because people's introduction to that in World was pretty standard. World was your typical high-rank Monster Hunter game that has yet to receive a G-rank release. There wasn't much to do. So, yeah, I think people are used to that. And on top of that, I don't know about these YouTube reviewers playing it really hard. Maybe some of them do, but I think most of them are probably dealing with, you know, they probably play for like 20 hours before reviewing. And that's not enough to, well, it shouldn't be enough to get to the point in the game where you've got nothing to do. But, who knows? Yes, I know Iceborne's the G-rank release. That's... Thank you, Potato. But anyway, the... what do I have? I need dragon shots. We will be able to 3-man this fairly easy. As long as I'm careful to make use of peak performance at all times, we can 3-man this without issue. This is a very strong set, as long as you're using peak performance. So, yeah. I don't really care what we go with here. Well, do what you can, Vernon. Yeah, I have a distinct feeling that the Switch release of Rise is going to be a disappointment, and they're going to make up for it with the PC version. But what if the Switch release for them causes irreparable damage? Because it's not good to release an unfinished game. Doesn't matter if you're releasing it later on another system, it doesn't look good, and it's not a good first impression for people. People are a bit sensitive about that kind of thing. I hope oh shit. I would have done it totally subconsciously if I did do it, but I really do hope that I went and brought Dragonfell berries. I did not. Well, this is terrible. This is going to be a shit hunt, everyone. I forgot Dragonfell berries, and this is what happens every time. I'm spending more time talking than actually getting ready for the quest. For fuck's sake, this is terrible. I've got 3 dragon shots and the rest is going to be fire, which is terrible, because, well, it's probably not that awful. We do still have a 4-man team. If we were 3-manning, I would have actually requested that we restart, but if it's 4-man, it's fine. I'm really annoyed though, because that's major. That's a major fuck up on my part. What are you pinging for? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, you want to use the Dragon Eater? Okay. I don't mind, but in fact, maybe that would be a good. We're not doing the glitch with the Blade Master team, don't be ridiculous. I thought he was going to the Dragon Eater. Fucking... You cannot do the glitch with a Blade Master team, you will achieve nothing, because you can't get close to them. Oh, what a baby! What a fucking baby! He fucking left the quest over that? What a fucking idiot. Like, what, because I suggested that he was being ridiculous, or that he was expecting to do the glitch? What a fucking child. Unbelievable. Like, it's common sense. The glitch involves, like, the monster not being able to move from one specific point, but what ends up happening there is that all attacks are focused in one spot, which is fine if you're at a distance, but if you're close to the monster, you're just going to be getting fucked over and over and over again. Because you don't have any room to move around the monster's attacks, because you're trying to get the monster in one focused point. So, like, you don't do that with a Blade Master team. You simply don't. And this guy was expecting to do that, and when I said that he couldn't, he threw a fucking tantrum. Unbelievable. People are annoyed at IGN giving it an 8 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. They haven't even played the fucking game, and they want to get annoyed about that? That's pathetic. Oh my god. Look, anyone reading reviews expecting like a sensible outlook at this point, well, I don't know what to tell them, because you never get, especially for a Monster Hunter game, you're never going to get a good, balanced review of the game, because they're not going to be looking for the right stuff, you know. But it is important to note that they do feel that it's unfinished. That's worth taking note of. Outside of that, I wouldn't really care for their opinions. But maybe certain people are worth listening to. But like video game journalists, no. That's mainly what I mean. Maybe some YouTube reviewers are fine because they have experience with the series. But game journalists, oh, give me a fucking break. IGN, look, IGN giving it an 8 out of 10. Well, it means nothing to me. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember when Try released and IGN did a review for that. That was the most pathetic fucking review I'd ever seen at the time. I thought IGN were more professional than that, and I was foolish, obviously. Because my understanding of IGN was, I guess, old IGN, and I hadn't realised that they had well and truly fallen from grace. But they fucking fell from grace, alright. Because I watched that Try review not long after the game came out, and I was like, who did this? Who's responsible for this? I bet it's still on YouTube. Check the IGN review for Monster Hunter Try. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty fucking bad. It's pretty bad. I think they said Baroth, instead of mud, they said Baroth had something else on his body. I don't know what it was. But it wasn't mud, whatever they fucking said. So, Diaza prepared 0%. I forgot, like, most of my damage dealing ammunition. Yeah. And Vernon's worried that he's going to triple cart. This is a bad fucking hunt, but we'll make do. As Diaza said, we will make do. I remember some reviewer getting death threats for calling Breath of the Wild average instead of getting it a 10 out of 10. Must be hard to speak the truth these days. It is true though, I mean, imagine giving death threats over that. This is the thing, you can't take those death threats seriously because they do it for fun. I mean, I wouldn't want to receive a death threat, but, you know, if it's over something as ridiculous as that, you can't take the death threat seriously because no one would kill over that. If they were going to kill over that, they were just going to walk out on the street and kill some random person. You know, they're not actually, in the heat of passion, going to seek you out and kill you over calling Breath of the Wild average, you know. It's not something to be worried about. But again, I wouldn't want to receive a death threat, no matter who it was from, because it's not pleasant. But yeah, I mean, whoever would actually kill over that. Anyway. People have killed over getting teabagged in COD. Well, I can believe that. I can believe that. That's the COD community. But I guess that gives you an idea of what's happened to the Zelda community. It's on par with the COD community. That's always exciting, isn't it? So yeah, I am keeping myself in peak performance, so I can get as much damage out as I can. Unfortunately, I'm not doing dragon shots with peak performance, but... oh my god. This fucking sucks, man. I think we'll get this done. I think we will succeed with this hunt, but this is not going to be among my cleaner runs of Abyssal. I'd like to break that head, actually. It's not as good for damage, but it's important to break the horns if you're trying to get a Dynamo, because you can't... there is no quest reward drop for Dynamos. You can only carve them from the body, the tail, or receive them as a wound reward from the head. The best chance is actually carving the tail, that's a 3%, because it's a bloody nuisance to actually cut the tail in this game with an underwater monster. Just getting some shots off on the head here. Hyper tail joint. There we go. There are the horns. The horns are very easy to break if you're gunning, because you can just hang back and get yourself on target with them. But this is good. I can now attack the actual... Oh, there goes Diaza. But yeah, now I can actually attack the elemental weak point, which is the back. What kind of sets do I use in Generations Ultimate? The same sort of sets that I use in 4 Ultimate. I don't use styles in that game, so I use the normal. Like, just what I use in every Monster Hunter game, basically. Whatever I'm using here, I use something somewhat similar in Generations Ultimate. The only example of something that would be different would be like a blunt set, because that's something that's unique to Generations and Generations Ultimate. The ability to have Bludgeoner and Bitter Affinity. Although I don't use Bitter Affinity. I usually just go with the Cantor weapons that have positive affinity, so I wouldn't get any use out of Bitter Affinity. I shouldn't have attacked there, that was a fucking stupid idea. I don't know what possessed me to do that. Stupidity, I suppose. A brief lapse in logical analysis. Of course, that slap is just terrible for peak performance. I made a mistake there, which was not evading immediately in the direction of where I would avoid his second attack. Usually the first one's very easy to avoid because it's almost off target, but the second is always on target and you should always be immediately avoiding that. Oh, I hate the fucking underwater range of element. Pisses me off. Pisses me right off. Look at this. You have to basically be kissing the monster to fucking make contact with element. What do you think about being able to move while consuming potions and the like? Not only have they done that, not only have they allowed you to move while consuming potions, they've made it so that you recover like, I don't know, 70%? 70 to 80% of the health that you would recover from the potion instantaneously, and then you recover the rest over time. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know why they decided that was necessary. I mean, that's another complaint that I suppose I could have. What do I think about it? I think it's dumb. I think they shouldn't have done that, and yeah, I don't think that I think their hands were tied. Had they made it so that you couldn't move while drinking potions, people would inevitably look at that as a step backwards. They would not look at that as something intentional, or rather intentionally stylistic, in the sense that it's like a creative way of adding difficulty. They would look at that as artificial difficulty. They would look at that as something uncreative and something that shouldn't be returned to. I think it should be returned to as the way it always was, and it was good because you had to be very careful about when to heal. You would have to find an opportunity to heal. You do obviously always need to find an opportunity to heal regardless of whether you can move or not, but you have to do a whole lot less of that. You can almost heal whenever the fuck you want when you can move around freely. So it is the difference. You think that you can't even move that fast when you're healing, but being able to move at all is a huge thing, because you notice that with light bowgun versus heavy bowgun. You can't really move all that faster with light bowgun versus heavy bowgun, but just that bit of extra speed makes a world of difference. That's all it takes. A bit more mobility can have a huge effect. And that's what being able to move while healing is about. It's a huge effect. In other words, it makes it super easy. And healing has become trivial now. But people aren't attached to it, I guess. Which is what it is. It's not something I'm going to get really, really pissed off about. It's not something that would really activate me in a negative sense, but I don't like it. Anyway, that is, again, I suppose what you would describe as a complaint from the minority. An unusual complaint. Shouldn't really be aiming for the back when I've got Pierce. Although, again, most of the damage would be dealt. Just, oh, this is not good. Okay, so again, I want to start going in this direction immediately. And I still wasn't able to avoid that because his fucking neck curled me into his hitbox. Because that hitbox does linger. Which is a problem, but anyway. The reason why this is taking so long, guys, is because I forgot Dragon. That's most of my damage here. I brought 3 shots. Whoop-de-doo. They bloody well are going the wrong way. But no one cares. That's alright. And I'm a grumpy, toxic bastard for not liking it, you know. Which is what it is. It's not just in gaming, it's in anything. Unless enough people agree with you, you can't be negative. It's like, oh, you're negative about it? No, fuck off. I don't want to deal with your negativity. And I've run into that a lot. People just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with negativity. It's like they have a fantasy that's somehow being affected by my impressions. It's like, get a fucking grip. If you like it, and you're really firm about liking it, why would you allow someone's opinions to change that? Or bother you? Just keep on, I guess. I mean, if you... I can't change people's opinions. I've helped to influence people's viewpoints. Ethan was neutral to World, and then he started to really dislike it when he heard some of the things that I was saying about it, because, you know, it put things into perspective for him. Sometimes it can be useful. But, you know, and sometimes people dislike things without really noticing it. Like, they'll dislike something but not really put it in context in their mind and really address it. And it's not until it's properly addressed by someone else that they can address it themselves. It does happen that way sometimes, but other people just straight up don't give a fuck. They're like, this game's great. Love the animations, love the graphics. I'm hunting monsters still. It's fun. You know, sometimes it's just as simple as it's fun. And there are people who need a little more than that. So, of course, no Dynamo. I wouldn't expect one. I wouldn't expect a Dynamo. Look, in the end, Vernon, it's better to like it than dislike it, isn't it? Because you can enjoy it more. I've always wanted to like World. I've always wanted to. I don't necessarily think that I would rather, under these circumstances, like it over disliking it, but I wish I could like it for being a good game. But I can't, because I don't think it is a good game, but... You know, in the end, if you don't dislike it, that's a game that you can enjoy that I can't. And that, in and of itself, is a good thing. I would say. Where is Abyssal stuff? Abyssal's a bit further back, because you have to find laggy stuff. Here we go. So, I think... Oh, fucking hell. I hate it when your stuff just gets put in random fucking places, and then you don't know where to sell it. Oh, come on, I know you created another stack of something. Or did you not? Okay. Apparently not. Well, Diaza disappeared. Which is fine. Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a shame, Trash. Your DS has shat the bed, and now you can't play this game anymore because it needs to be repaired. That's a shame. I think the Nintendo DS is a fucking travesty as a handheld system. I think anyone who has even touched a PS Vita, even touched one, if you've played on one even more so, but if you've even touched a PS Vita, you'll realise how shit the DS is. The 3DS is a fucking joke. It's a terrible handheld system. It's such a shame that, and you know, whenever I say that, people say, "Oh, the PS Vita sucks." It's not that simple. Of course, it did terribly, but strictly comparing the handheld consoles, my god, it's pretty shocking. Like, the Nintendo DS is just a fucking... I've always said this, but it was It was like a handheld system from the 2000s that was in the 2010s, you know, it was in the wrong decade. I would agree that World is better than the vast majority of games out there, most definitely. I think most games are pretty uninspired and not all that well made, but World uses a formula that is masterful. The Monster Hunter formula is absolutely masterful. It's just that you can fuck up an expression of a formula. It's exactly what Dark Souls 2 was. They fucked up the expression of the Souls formula in the same way that World fucked up the expression of the Monster Hunter formula in favour of allowing people to come into the game and play it without difficulty from the beginning. Monster Hunter has always been very hard to get into, and they knew that that was what was holding them back financially. Well, not financially, I just mean to say that that's the reason why they couldn't get as many people on board with it. Once they put it on proper consoles, and you know, it's always supposed to be a niche. You have to have things as niches, otherwise they get worse. The only exception to that is Souls, isn't it? Look at the Elder Scrolls series. Look at how that became watered down over time as more and more people got on board with that. It's like that with anything. It will always be watered down the more people play it, because the more people play it, the more inclined you are to appeal to a larger group of people, and it dilutes what you have. If you have a formula, your formula becomes diluted if you end up appealing to a larger group of people. It's exactly what happened with World. It's what happens with Elder Scrolls. It's what happens with any game series, really. The only exception would be the Souls series by way of Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 ended up pretty well expressing the formula in the best possible way. Well, they should have, yeah. But they couldn't really market it that way because there is a rigidity to Monster Hunter that isn't really present in Souls. Souls is a little different. Souls really makes it look like you just suck, you know. Whereas Monster Hunter, to someone who hasn't played it before, probably thinks it's the game's fault, you know. It's the unfortunate thing about Monster Hunter to a new player. There's something about there is something about Souls that really is easy to come back to. It's easy to come back to. If you've just started Monster Hunter and you just don't get it, it's so easy to just not go back to it. But Souls really keeps you coming back. There's something about it. It might be a certain simplicity to it. A certain simplicity. The Souls series is very complex and very intricately designed, but there is a certain surface level simplicity that allows people to return to it when they're doing terribly. Is there anything in G rank that you need, Vernon? Or is there not? If not, then we'll just do that in Giganox. I don't really want to do Abyssal with Hypertail. I don't think Hypertail is very good at the game. It's my impression of having played with him in the past. Yes, Vita does blow 3DS out of the water in terms of sound, graphics, visual quality, and comfort. Well, at that point, that's basically everything, isn't it? The only thing that the 3DS has over the Vita are titles. Game titles, that's it. That's the only reason why the 3DS did well. It's because it had all the game titles that everyone wanted to play. But Nintendo would never come out with a handheld system that would end up being as good as the Vita. They just don't do that. Let's do Nagakuga. Is it regular or is it green? Did Hypertail leave? No? Chinox? Oh, hold on, let's just do let's do Abyssal. Seeing as though we can both get something out of Abyssal, let's do Abyssal. Because we just got a 4th. And you know what? Even if Hypertail leaves, because he doesn't like Abyssal for one reason or another, I would be happy to 3-man with Chinox, because he's actually decent at the game. I can't remember his hunter rank, but oh, it's high. Yeah, that's good. So let's go and put up Abyssal Awakening. Again, you can always do the event, which is technically higher chance for Dynamos, but that's also higher chance of failure, because the quest takes longer, he hits harder. I mean, it's not worth it. I would rather just do Abyssal Awakening, to be completely honest. It's so funny though, watching the people who loved World slowly but surely fall out of favour with it, because what happens is, it has almost a hypnotising hold over you because it is so pretty. It's what it is, you know, if you're a long-time Monster Hunter player, there's something really appealing about how great the game looks and feels. It's true, absolutely true, but there's something missing. And it's been very interesting to watch the people who had no idea what the fuck I was talking about when 3 or 4 months into the game's release I was saying, I cannot play this, it's terrible. Like, well, not terrible, but it's just not what I want out of a Monster Hunter game, and they're sort of wondering what I could possibly want out of it that's not there, aside from content at the time, which didn't even bother me too much. But then, as time went on, it was so funny. Just prior to Iceborne's release, all those people who didn't get it then were like, I fucking hate World, because they'd overplayed it and they were starting to see what was wrong with it, and the mirage, I suppose the Fata Morgana of Monster Hunter World as a video game began to finally lift, and they were starting to see what was behind the curtain. And then Iceborne came out, and they were hooked again, just hooked, you know. It's really funny, and then, a while into Iceborne, they started to, you know, fall out of favour with it again. It's like, it's really weird. It's so funny, but anyway, I was not going to play Iceborne. That did not happen. Not at all. Anyway. I think I forgot to get, well. Let's not talk about that. I do think I would have double-checked my inventory before departing, because I don't trust myself anymore, but yeah. Well, SOS is a major thing, yeah, but the skill system is a bit of a fucking nightmare. Okay, Dragon Shot, here we go. We're going to be doing this much faster this time. This is going to be a much better run. And I'm eager. What's the drink today? Just gin. Just gin. Straight from the bottle. That's the way I like it. That's the thing, because World fucked up so many things, it really brings to the forefront the terribly messy Capcom balancing. Now, in a game that's usually pretty well done, it's all in balance because they haven't gone out of their way to change so many things for the benefit of new players. The Capcom balancing is something you can more or less live with. But God is it bad in a game where you can't really appreciate the stuff that you previously could appreciate. Unfortunately, I have to go and fully heal again. Dragon Shot is something to be taken nice and slowly. You want to always make sure you're on target with it. You don't get too many shots with it, and it's very heavy damage when you do get the shot off. So you want to get it on the weak point, and you want to make sure that you have peak performance. Oh dear. Can't really see what the fuck's going on, and I've got twisters all over the place. Usually I don't have such a great barrier between me and this monster. But that certainly was difficult to manage. Oh, there we go. Something broke. Was that the horn? No? What did break? Must have been the claws. Didn't even know the claws could break on this guy. I guess it would make sense, but... Oh, that's a good knockdown. Get another shot off there. Again, provided all of my dragon shots can be shot with peak performance, this quest will be over very, very quickly. That was a good flinch. Nice work, Shinox. I'm shocked that I managed to fucking avoid that. That's a terrible combo, by the way. If you get hit by the first one, there's a very good chance you'll get hit by the second, because you don't get a long time, like you don't get an extended invulnerability period. So you often get hit by both, and that's enough to kill you. If you are using a gun, obviously. As you would expect. Okay. Oh, good old dragon shot. I'm surprised that back isn't broken yet. I'm not necessarily trying to break the back, I'm trying to use that as a gauge to see how much I've shot on the back. There we go. I was hoping for a flinch there. Because again, now that he's gone and done that, I can't really get close. Good flash. The flash helps, keeps him in place, and then I can get my shots off. No, 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 no. That did not last at all. Damage threshold. Whoever is on the flashes is doing work. Alright, now for flaming shots, we're not too far from killing him. Very close. I mean, to be completely honest, he should be dead, to my understanding, but... maybe my food wasn't perfectly optimized. I'd like to break those horns, though. That is very important. Let me try to do that. Because if you don't get those horns, it is almost a waste of a hunt, because otherwise you can only carve at a 2% chance. Oh dear, don't let that tail get me, thank you. That was a bit dangerous of me to do, wasn't it? I'm kind of desperate for that head. Out of air, but that's alright. Oh, there we go, that's a chance. Oh, you almost fucked that up. Almost fucked that up. Oh, very good. That's a tail cut. If they've been working for the tail rather than the head, then that's a good thing, because in the end, you do get a better chance from the tail. So that's actually not a bad thing at all. Let's go and have an air filter. It's very dangerous. I'm kind of at risk of death here. Alright, let's get that horn. If we can break the horn and cut the tail, we're in a good fucking situation. I really tried there. Really tried. I'm taking ridiculous hits because I'm desperately trying to break those horns before we kill it. I don't know how this quest has taken so long. I guess it's because everyone's DPS has been going down. I've been aiming for that head, they've been aiming for the tail, so DPS has been kind of bad, but that's alright. Well, not bad, just not as good as it could be. There we go, there's the head. And he should die very soon, I'm hoping. Good flinch. Again, those twisters. No, I'm not going to play with you there. Just going to pre-swim. Pre-swim. At least he only does one when he's charging up for it. That's one that he might go twice, yeah. He doesn't really do a big lead up for the double, which makes no sense. You'd think that he would do a lead up if he was going to go twice, because he would need to really gear up for it. But anyway, that doesn't make too much sense for me. But please don't fuck me up. That was so fucking close. That may very well have killed me had it hit me. I haven't been able to hit him in ages because I've been trying to catch up to him the whole time. There we go. Would have killed him like a minute ago had he not been swimming around like an asshole. Where is that tail? That's the most important thing. Sometimes you can really lose it. Shit, where is it? There it is. Yeah, I'd play Frontier on private servers. I haven't played Frontier before, but I'd be willing to play it for the first time if I was just not playing the new Monster Hunter games anymore. Seriously. I'd be quite willing to do that. We do want to get all of our calves here. I just had to prioritize that tail, because it really does give better chance. 1% better, but you've got to take what you can get here. I missed one of my calves here, sadly, but we're still worth it, probably. Come on, baby. Come on. No. I'm telling you, it's a very rare sight to see a fucking Dynamo in this reward screen. It doesn't happen often. This is the closest thing to trying to get a rare item in Try. Trying to get a Dynamo from Abyssal. It really is. Like, getting Dynamos from Abyssal is about what it was like getting any rare item in Try. You feel like you almost never see it in the reward screen, and it's kind of depressing. I think we can put that there, yeah. And then I should have a claw somewhere. Is it Laggy Claw? I think it's just a regular Lagiacrus claw. Or talon, I should say. There we go. And then the rest should be good. Oh my god. It was a smooth hunt, but... And I'm very impressed with that tail cut. That was good. Yeah, I need to sell this other stuff. It feels so stupid selling this because I'm always at max Zenny, but... I guess I could just discard it, couldn't I? But then that might be a bad habit to get into. Okay. Should we do another one? Probably. Because I don't think Shinox needs anything. And Hypertail seems happy to do whatever. So... And to be completely honest, I think anyone at Hypertail's Hunter rank would get a lot of use out of fighting Abyssal. Because, as I've said before, Thunder weapons in the endgame are almost always Abyssal weapons. It's what you want. It's really good stuff. So, whether you get the armor set or the weapons, you're going to need some Abyssal Laggy stuff, and a lot of it, because you'll be needing Dynamos, and Dynamos are fucking annoying to get. It makes sense that they'd make it so hard to get Dynamos. Because again, you need them a lot, don't you? They make it work for what you need most. Okay, dragon shots. I mean, if the... Oh, I already got them. Just need fire shots. If the guy doesn't want to do Abyssal, well... I can't imagine why he wouldn't want to, but... Anyway. Even if he doesn't want to, it's good for him. It's good for him. Yeah, as I've said, Frontier I really wasn't impressed with when they came out with that update in 2011 that turned it into Ultra Anime. But, aside from that, it's pretty cool. Oh, of course you wouldn't give me Ultra Lucky Cat. Go fuck yourself. Unbelievable. How could you not just give me Ultra Lucky Cat? I mean, I had 2 fresh ingredients and everything. And the game's like, no. You don't get a better chance for Dynamos. You have to suffer. Like, what a fucking joke. Okay. I don't know if Shinox is changing his loadout for the quest, or he was just doing something else. Is that paralysis? It is paralysis. Yeah, that's the green Naga Cougar longsword. The green Naga Cougar stuff is mostly paralysis, whether it's awakened or not. But, yes, the paralysis is very useful. I will aim for the head during the paralysis. I think... Was there only 1 paralysis last hunt? I think so. And I did aim for the head that time, from memory. I don't think you can flash out of a paralysis, can you? Because I was worried about that happening last time. I was thinking, oh god, good thing that flash didn't actually work. But I actually don't think it interrupts paralysis. I do, thank you. Oh, I don't! I actually thought that oh, thank you, Vernon. You fucking saved me right there. I actually thought that I did get them. I actually had a memory of getting them. You fucking saved this quest, Vernon. Thank you. Seriously, I really thought that I got them. Instead of getting dragon shots and dragonfell berries, I tried twice to get dragon shots. Which was super helpful. No flash? Okay. You're not flash happy anymore. It's time for a break. It's best to flash when you're doing the glitch, honestly. Outside of that, it's not really necessary. Oh, that's a nasty time for you to swim backwards like that. Almost fucked up my peak performance. Now you've really fucked it up. Arsehole. Get the back there, very good. That's good damage. That's unbelievably good damage. If you're getting dragon shots off on the back of an Abyssal Lagi with peak performance, oh, you're doing well. You're doing well. I'm not going to aim for the head with dragon because I'm worried about it not piercing as much as it could. And again, I do want to get the weak points, so... Oh no. You can't really avoid that if you're that close because it does explode outwards. Don't you combo me. I can see you want to combo me, Abyssal. I can see it very well. No, stop. Thank you. I don't need to deal with that shit. Just take a shot on the head. I ended up getting the claw or something again, something that you can't really see break, or maybe that was the chest. Yeah, that's probably what it was. It wasn't the chest last time, and I was rather confused. I'm swimming over here just before he can even go to that second attack, because that second attack is nasty. Alright, I'm keeping away from you there. The less I have to get back up to peak performance, the happier I am. Because that's the most annoying thing about peak performance. I do not typically, when healing, ensure that I am always at absolute full health. I do tend to top up my health more than some people do, but I don't usually get to actual full health, but peak performance is actually necessary. Or rather, it is necessary to do that with peak performance, absolutely. So. And it is annoying. Ahai! What was that? Ahai. That's a new one. They're aiming for the tail, which is great. Oh dear. Well, as good as that was, I did basically miss a whole dragon shot as a result of that tail cut. But that is a good thing. I'm actually going to cut it now. Or cut... No, I'm not doing that. You guys are going to get fucked. I hope you're ready for this. That's going to be like a triple kill. Oh, only one person took the hit. Well, that was good. The fact that it's a double carve and 3% on the tail is really significant. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get hit? No, I did not get hit. Breaks my heart when I fail to get a dynamo from the tail, I'll tell you what, because again, it's the highest chance, so if you fail it at the highest chance, it makes you wonder if it's all worth it. Ow. I'm not shooting any dragon unless I'm in peak performance. It's just not happening. It's just too much damage to forego. Provided you're in the combination screen, you can still combine during a raw flinch. If you're not actually in the combo screen, you cannot combine during a raw flinch. Now I can aim for that head with fire shots, but we're going to be a little smarter with our positioning here. We're not just going to go in and desperately aim for the head and put ourselves in danger in the process, like I was last time. I'm mostly hip firing just so that I can have better DPS. If you're not taking time to aim by ADSing, you can generally have a higher DPS. This is provided you can actually hip fire accurately, which I generally can't, but I'm doing what I can. Here we go, let's get nice and close. Come on. One good thing is that the horns generally don't take too much damage to break. They're pretty forgiving with that. But look, assuming you're killing him each time and getting all breaks, that's significant. That's significant because you're getting the best possible chance, and it's very good. Because there's nothing worse than doing an Abyssal hunt and having terrible chance. Did I not break the horn? You've got to be kidding me. I was aiming for them like crazy. Fucking hell, man. Well, this just means that you can't get them in the rewards, and I'm always hoping for dynamos in the rewards. I never seem to carve them, at least not from the body. So, because again, it's not a quest reward, so unless you are getting it from a wound reward from the head, I don't believe it's possible to get a dynamo in the rewards. They will not be bringing swimming back. That is not happening. They can't even bring back the good stuff. As if they're going to bring back swimming. My god, could you imagine the people complaining? Oh, I hate this swimming, it's so gimmicky. That's what they would say. Yeah, swimming will not be returning. Anyway. Unless they have a really weird system for it. They wouldn't bring it back in the form that you see it here. It would be something weird. Something very weird. Fucking shit rewards, man. It's very annoying to get bad rewards. It's also hard to, with every enduring charm and time-worn charm, get absolute crap. Like, nothing decent in the way of talismans. Which is probably not a big deal, because I honestly have made most of the armor sets that I want to make in this game. But still, I'm just going to discard these. I don't need these. At all. I'm at max Zenny, so there's no point. Okay. Well, let's just keep going. I mean, for the most part, we're breaking everything, so this is a good thing. Just the fact that I can get consistent tail carves with this team means that this is definitely the sort of scenario where I want to be doing this repeatedly. You never get the damn dynamo if you just do one quest every now and again. Then that's when it actually takes years to get it. It's taken me years sometimes. The dynamo that I wanted for the lance took me like 3 years to get. Seriously, 3 years. Because I only did Abyssal every now and then, and I only played this game every now and then. So that sort of equated to maybe 1 hunt per 6 months or something like that. Maybe not 6 months, but yeah, it was not frequent. So it took me like 3 years to get a Dynamo for that Laz. It was kind of bad, but anyway. Come on. Don't do that. Okay, did I buy Flaming? Yes, I did. And we will of course ensure that we do have Dragonfell berries this time. Just to be nice and sensible. This is not really in the spirit of Doomlink's random hunt, excuse me, Doomlink's live hunts, but I don't care. Carver High, will that give me 3 carves on the tail? I've never thought about that. If you've got a double carve on a tail, do you get 3 with Carver High? Let's find out. I actually don't think that's possible. Wings were not impossible to get from Elatrion in Tri, but they were harder, yeah. Harder than Importable Third, I think. But yeah, if you wanted the Elatrion Sword and Shield in Tri, it was a bit annoying. I mean, I was doing sleep bomb runs where I was bombing the wings instead of bombing the head. It was bad, but yeah, the Elatrion Star. And that was, to my memory, the only weapon out of all the Elatrion weapons that needed webbing. I think all the others didn't require webbing, and I think maybe the only other thing that required webbing was the armor set. But yeah, I think Sword and Shield and armor were the only things that required webbing. Well, that's a real shame. The main Sword and Shield in Tri, and you didn't get the Elatrion Sword and Shield. That is sad. But I will say that the Elatrion Star was probably the least common Elatrion weapon in Tri. Like, you just wouldn't see it all that often. I quite often had it out, but you just wouldn't see too many people with it. And then I think, outside of that, I think all the other ones were pretty common. You had Dark Claw Demise, Elatrion Metamorph, Black Harvest, Elatrion Revolution, Elatrion Star, and Elatrion Gleam. Those are all of them. There we go. Of course, knocking him down like that is a good opportunity for the tail. I mean, I don't know how you guys can aim for something that is constantly wiggling around like that. That's so annoying, but I appreciate it. I really do. It's good for you as well. It's not just for me. Sword and Shield sucked so hard in Tri? What do you mean? I mean, it was kind of weak, but it wasn't that bad. The most annoying thing was that you had to press plus to do the round slash. That was the most annoying thing about it, but outside of that, it was, you know, probably a little weak, but I got a lot of enjoyment out of it. Wasn't as bad as 2nd gen anyway. And I did use it a little bit in 2nd gen in my Tri days. Oh, there goes Hypertail. Oh, there goes Shinox. Holy shit. That did not end well at all. That was bad news. That doesn't mean we've failed this quest. But, oh, Hypertail's a French player. I see. But, I guess he plays fine for a French player, yeah. I have seen worse. I guess the ones that stuck around are probably a little more reliable. Okay, that was bad. I was a bit too far away from that, so my deviation took it way off target. Very good. Having to combine during the knockdown. I don't believe he's French. He isn't using the insect blade. Well, if he's saying DSL, then he's definitely French. Well, losing natural lighting outside. Hopefully this is still bright enough. It seems to be fine. Whoa. Uh-oh. That's not good. Can I get away from that? God, that was close. Good flash. That was a good flash. Oh, I hate it when he does that. Whenever he does that sudden backswim, it ends up being a waste of a dragon shot or something like that. Because he moves way out of my target range. Alright, let's get that head. Vernon is after that head, and so am I. That head is going down. Break those horns. Animation cancel that one. Uh-oh. Stop it, stop. I don't know how I avoided that, but I did. I should go and carve that tail. Because again, I do want all of my carves. And do I have carve a high? Yes, I do. Moment of truth. Not really moment of truth, because you're never guaranteed to get the effects of carve a high. But, yeah, I didn't get 3 carves. It might not be possible, you know. If you're already getting 2 carves from a tail, you might not be able to carve 3 times. That's probably a bit too much. But that would be pretty fucking cool. Okay. Shoot you in the face a little more, and that should do it. Yeah, I had a fucking feeling. I just had a feeling in my waters that that would do the trick. My spidey senses told me that that was going to be the one. Good hunt, guys. It's not over yet, but I'll tell you what. We've done well so far. Should be out of range of that. Yes, I am. Just on the edge. I want to get as many shots off as I can. Oh, I fucking rolled just as he did that. So it was just a tad too late. No, 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 no. No combos, please. Oh, fuck off with that. Is he comboing me here? He really tried. He really fucking tried. What a dick. Oh, no. I don't... Oh, no, no, no. That is the terrible combo. That is the one that usually kills people. Kills me, usually. I'm surprised Hypertail didn't die. And, as far as I'm concerned... we're fucking lucky we didn't fail that one. Oh, that was not a bad flash. That was good. Okay, come on. I'm actually going to flaming him here. Very good, very good. That ruins the team DPS when Laggy just wants to fucking swim around, you know. Don't you fucking combo me. Don't you dare. Very good. Unfortunately, I don't have peak performance on this round here, but... he's hoping we can do it. I can see that wyvern fire. He must be close. You guys will be getting a nice work when we fucking complete this quest, because the pressure is on. The pressure is certainly on. Everyone be careful. Usually when he does the big lead up, most people do avoid that. You'd hope so anyway. Here we go. This should do it, come on. There we go. Quest failing just as it dies is technically possible, yeah. It's technically possible. It's bad. I haven't had that happen. I've probably had that happen twice in my entire hunting career, where a monster dies during quest fail, and it's a pretty rough moment. It's very rare. I'll take the D-Shocker. Swap it. I'll probably do one more hunt, and then I will record some Breath of the Wild. Because I do need to get back onto that game and start playing it. Whenever I take even a short break from it, I feel like I need to get back because I want to get that game done. Ah yes, Breath of the Wild, the best GTA game. Yeah. It's my personal favourite. Okay. So, I guess we'll just do one more Abyssal. This turned into Let's Hunt Abyssal, the video game, but if I've got a team where we can consistently cut the tail, break the horn, then I'm happy. You can technically capture him as well. Capture is, I think, also 3%, but it's kind of hard to get a consistent capture. I mean, you can capture him, can't you? I believe you can. There are, I checked, and apparently there are capture rewards, so I guess you can place a shock trap underwater. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can capture him. And that is decent chance for Dynamo, but you almost never see people place a trap for him. D-Shocker. And then PLs can be sold, or discarded rather. And then Dragonfell berries, make sure we've got, yeah, we've got enough large husks. Stop doing that. That happens because I spam the A button. And it's kind of awkward. Yeah, I'm kind of eager to do Breath of the Wild after this. Oh. We've got ourselves a whatever it's called, gourmet voucher. So I'm on the lookout for Ultra Lucky Cat. I can go for Lucky Cat. Oh, it's better than nothing, isn't it? Let's go for Lucky Cat. Alright, so do we have everything we need? I believe so. Yes, we do. We lost Hypertail, but we can still 3-man. Might be slightly harder to cut that tail, but we do still want to prioritize the tail cut over the horn break, because that's technically better chances. I'll actually go to the bathroom just before the hunt, so I will let them know that let them know, let Chinox know. I'll BRB in 1 minute. And I will BRB. I'm back. Oh, Tavo Show. Good to see him. I did 2 C's there for back, which is great. Okay, so Tavo Show, what is going on with this set? Negate, stun, fortify. Haven't seen fortify. Fortify? This is such a try set. Look at this. Fortify. Wow. Alright, we're good to go. Now, Fortify, for those who are not familiar with that skill, that actually gives you more attack each time you die. So, interesting skill. It might be attack and defense, but I think it's just attack. Your Twitch froze, I see. Okay. So let's again aim for that tail. And Sheenox will be aiming for it. I mean, Tavo might notice that you guys are aiming for the tail and do that as well. We'll be getting more paralysis, which is good. That is definitely a good thing. Oh, kind of dodgy then. Getting that combo page, there we go. It's a good opportunity. No, you fucking don't. I'm smarter than that, Abyssal. You can't fucking trick me with that. I was really hoping for a flinch there. At least I was going under him. Let's go straight up, get in position for the back. Why am I rolling in this direction? I'm going to get hit if I do that. Fortunately I didn't, but it was dangerous to do that. Could have aimed for the head there. Just for good measure, just to sort of help with the horn break later on. Go on, go on, go on. You see how it's really delayed there? It's because the movement of the neck actually pushes you into the lingering hitbox. It's really fucking annoying. It's extremely frustrating. Very good. Very good. Aha. This is damage time. I can get all consistent hits on the back, which is beautiful damage. Just beautiful. Because you do notice that some of my shots actually don't hit the back, they sort of hit the body from the side. Which might not even be the best for... Oh, fuck, that was bad. Might not be the best for piercing even, but you know, I'm not going to be desperately aiming for all shots to be on the back. Alright, back in peak performance. We got that tail at least. I don't want to aim for the head again because I'm just worried that I'll miss the shot, so I'm going for damage here. Once I'm done with my dragon, I will... I'll get a shot off. No, it's too dangerous. Once I'm done with my dragon shots, I will carve that tail. Wait, that tail was cut. No, for some reason I thought the tail was cut. That's strange. I must have hallucinated or something. I don't know. Maybe my memories of the last hunts are actually fusing with what's going on here. It's really weird that I thought the tail was broken. I think it's close though. But I do think we'll be able to get 2 paralysis because I think Sheenox and Tarbosho are using paralysis weapons. Get that there tail. Beautiful. Nice work, guys. Just trying to get that head with this flaming shot. Uh-oh. It's good to see Tavo also aiming for the tail there. I probably won't bother topping up to full while I'm carving here. I probably won't do this. No, I'll do the second carve. I don't fucking... No. Okay, he wasn't doing an attack out of that, fortunately. Let's top up to full. Or maybe he's just going to hit me anyway. Yeah, he's just going to hit me anyway. Thank you for the life powder. That worked out rather well. Not good. Yeah, couldn't really avoid getting hit by that. There we go. Get that head, guys. Oh, I'm the only one aiming for it? Oh no, Tavo's making his way there, I think. Fuck, I was the only one aiming for the head. That's a bad sign. Probably means we might not get that head. Nah. Come on. I'm really desperate for that head. I feel like that's the key to my success here in acquiring a dynamo. There's a lot of what it comes down to when it comes to acquiring a dynamo. It's getting all those breaks. If you're not getting the breaks, you're making it so much harder for yourself. Hello, Takashi. Trying to break these horns. Oh. Alright, this is a good opportunity. You got it? No? Beautiful. There she is. And the death shouldn't be too far behind, hopefully. Reload here. This is actually my last hunt here, Takashi, and then I'm moving on to Breath of the Wild. I've been live for about 2 hours here. I won't be doing Wind Waker until I'm willing to do another long recording, though. Wind Waker I'll try to keep as really long recordings. I do enjoy doing that. Can we kill him before I need oxygen? That is the question. Go, roll there. Just to be safe. I'll drink an air filter. Drink an air filter? You don't really drink oxygen, but... yeah, I mean, it doesn't make much sense, does it? I mean, what? You've got it airtight and you fucking get this thing, you go... something like that. I guess that's how it works. It's a funny thought, if you really think about it. You're underwater, and you've got this airtight thing of oxygen, and what, you quickly uncork it, or whatever the hell you've got in it, and then you just breathe into it and hope you don't breathe in water? I mean, what the fuck? It's pretty funny. Of course, you have to suspend your disbelief there, but I'm just imagining this guy underwater going... but, anyway. I don't think that's a crazy thing to think about. I question that. Maybe he injects oxygen into his throat. No, I don't think so. Not that that would work either, but the point is that it doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's not literally something that would be in a bottle. I imagine it would be in a bottle because that's the icon that represents it. But I don't think it would actually be in a bottle. I think it would actually be some sensible apparatus. That is an interesting question, Potato. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, I do believe that that is going to conclude my Monster Hunter recording for today. I will be making my way onto Breath of the Wild shortly. I'll probably have about 10 minutes of... I'll probably have a quick bite to eat, actually. It won't take me long at all. But I will take about 10 minutes, and then I will go live in Breath of the Wild. And, yeah, we'll do whatever we're doing in that game. I do hope you all enjoyed, and, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.